Nicola Peltz Beckham might look like Hollywood royalty, but behind the glamour, the Valentino gowns, and the famous surname, there's a question everyone's asking. Is she really the self-made actress she claims to be? Or just another Nepo baby living the dream her parents paid for? Before we dive into the story of Nicola, Brooklyn, and the billionaire world they were born into, make sure you hit subscribe right now, because this power couple's fairy tale isn't quite what it seems. Let's start with the basics. Nicola Ann Peltz Beckham was born in January 1995 in Westchester County, New York, where the lawns are long, the houses are bigger than hotels, and money is never a problem. Her father, Nelson Peltz, is a billionaire investor worth around $1.5 billion. He's the man behind Wendy's, Snapple, and Heinz. Her mother, Claudia Hefner Peltz, is a former model. Together, they've raised 8 children. Yes, 8. In a mansion that looks like something straight out of Succession. While most kids grow up dreaming about success, Nicola was born into it. Private tutors, designer wardrobes, connections to the biggest names in film, finance, and fashion before she could even spell Hollywood. It's no wonder she ended up in the industry. Though, to be fair, she did have a little bit of talent to back it up. Nicola started acting when she was just 11, begging her parents to take her to an audition. She landed her very first role, and from there, her career took off. Transformers, Age of Extinction, Bates Motel, and most recently Lola, a film she wrote, directed, and starred in. But here's the thing. Every time Nicola appears on screen, there's that whisper. That reminder that she's not fighting her way up from nothing. She's arriving with a first-class ticket, courtesy of Dad's billions. Now, in fairness to her, Nicola has never pretended to come from struggle. She talks lovingly about her family, about how close she is to her parents, how her mom gives her fashion advice, and how her brothers are her best friends. And honestly, that's sweet. But when you grow up in a Florida mansion with a billionaire father and a mother who still looks red carpet ready at 60, life is bound to look a little easier. Nicola once said, "Family is everything to me." And maybe that's the problem, because her family is everything most people could never have. We're talking about a family so wealthy that when the wedding planners didn't work out for her 2022 ceremony, her dad literally sued them. You heard that right. He sued the wedding planners for not returning a $159,000 deposit. Only in the world of billionaires is that considered setting things right. And that wedding, oh, that wedding, is where this entire feud with the Beckhams really began. The $3 million Palm Beach extravaganza was meant to unite 2 celebrity dynasties, the perfect blending of British glamour and American money. But instead, it created a divide that's still making headlines 3 years later. The story goes that Nicola originally planned to wear a dress designed by her new mother-in-law, Victoria Beckham. It was supposed to be a symbol of family unity, a gesture that said, "We're one big happy team." But that never happened. Nicola claimed Victoria's atelier couldn't make it, and switched to Valentino instead. Publicly, it was all smiles. Privately, it was chaos. Because according to insiders, Victoria felt snubbed, and the Beckhams never really forgave her. Since then, it's been a cold war. Polite smiles, no public spats, but an undeniable chill every time these families cross paths. And in the middle of it all, Brooklyn Beckham, the boy who spent his entire adult life trying to escape his parents' shadow, only to marry someone who lives in one just as big. Because let's be honest, Brooklyn is a Nepo baby too. The son of football royalty and fashion royalty. He's had brand deals, book deals, and photography contracts he barely seemed to earn. When his photos for Burberry flopped, he became a chef. When that didn't stick, he became a content creator. Now, he's an LA influencer with a billionaire wife and a reputation for chasing whatever job sounds cool that week. It's actually perfect, because Brooklyn and Nicola are a mirror image of each other. 2 beautiful, privileged kids who have never really had to struggle, but still want to be taken seriously. They don't see themselves as lucky. They see themselves as misunderstood. Nicola says people judge her unfairly, that she's worked hard for everything she's achieved. And maybe she has. But when your dad owns multiple corporations and your wedding guest list includes Elon Musk, it's hard to convince people you're just like everyone else. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's family, the Beckhams, have always prided themselves on hard work. David from humble beginnings, Victoria building a brand from scratch. That's what makes this feud sting so much. Because to them, Brooklyn's new life feels like betrayal. Like he's traded authenticity for access. When the Beckhams sit front row at Paris Fashion Week and Brooklyn's nowhere to be seen, it's not just an absence, it's a statement. He's choosing Nicola's world now, the world of private jets, billion-dollar lawsuits, and ultra-curated Instagram perfection. And Nicola? She's right there beside him, posting about family love, but noticeably not that family. When she shared that quote earlier this year, "I would choose my mom to be my mom in every lifetime." It didn't go unnoticed. It came right after stories that she and Victoria still weren't speaking. A coincidence? Maybe. But in this family, even Instagram stories have subtext. Now, to be fair, Nicola's parents have a long, happy marriage. 40 years together, still affectionate, still supportive. She says she and Brooklyn are inspired by that. But while Nelson and Claudia may be anti-Hollywood, their daughter is the definition of it. A young actress raised in luxury, navigating fame from the comfort of a family fortune. And here's where things get interesting. Nicola often talks about how grounded her family keeps her. But that word doesn't quite hit the same when your dad owns multiple jets and your wedding included fireworks over the ocean. Grounded? Maybe emotionally, financially, not so much. Her film Lola was her passion project. She wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. But when your family can bankroll your dreams, you never have to hear the word no. And that's the thread connecting Nicola and Brooklyn, the freedom to fail without consequences. When their projects flop, it doesn't matter. When they feud with their parents, the bills are still paid. It's a kind of privilege most people can't even imagine. Still, one thing's certain. If you ever doubted that Brooklyn and Nicola were meant for each other, think again. They're not just a couple, they're a brand. A perfect reflection of modern celebrity. Beautiful, privileged, and protected from the real world. Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz Beckham. Two Nepo babies, two halves of the same golden coin. And whether you love them or not, one thing's for sure. They'll never stop shining under the spotlight, even if that light isn't quite as real as they think it is. Thanks for watching. And if you want more explosive celebrity deep dives, family feuds, and untold truths, hit subscribe right now. Because here on Celeb Scoopz, the fame is fake, the money's real, and the drama, it never ends.